There will come a day when you wake up feeling empty, a day when your heart feels too heavy to carry, a day when every word someone says feels like a weapon, a day when you're tired of caring too much, feeling too much, hurting too much. And maybe that day is today. But what if I told you something that could change your life? What if I told you that you can train your mind to feel peace, even when your world feels like it's falling apart? That you can detach yourself from emotional chaos without becoming cold or cruel or heartless? What if I told you that becoming emotionless, the Buddhist way, is actually the path to freedom? Welcome to Wisdom of Sparks, where ancient wisdom meets modern pain. Today, we're not just talking about controlling emotions. We're talking about becoming emotionally untouchable, unaffected, unmoved, unshaken. But wait, before you assume anything, let's be clear. We're not turning you into a robot. We're turning you into someone who can walk through fire and not get burned by emotions ever again. And I'm not just going to tell you how. I'm going to take you step by step through Buddhist techniques, Zen secrets, and powerful teachings that monks have practiced for thousands of years. Because in a world where people break down over a text message, where one insult ruins your entire day, and where emotions hijack your mind like a virus, learning to master your emotions is not optional, it's survival. Why do you feel too much? Let me ask you something. Have you ever cried alone without knowing the reason? Have you ever smiled in public but screamed silently inside? Have you ever looked at the people around you and thought, why am I the only one who feels this much? You're not alone. Millions of us are trapped in the same mental storm, triggered by people, crushed by expectations, drowning in regret, consumed by anxiety, paralyzed by overthinking. But here's the ugly truth that no one wants to admit. Your emotions are not always your friends. In fact, they're often the reason you're stuck, broken, or lost. And until you stop letting them control you, you'll never know peace, never know stillness, never know power. Buddhism's secret weapon, detachment. Now listen carefully. The Buddha didn't say, don't feel anything. He said, feel everything, but don't become anything. What does that mean? It means let anger visit you, but don't let it live in you. Let sadness pass through you, but don't build a home for it. Let desire rise and fall, but don't chase it like a hungry ghost. You see, pain is natural, fear is normal, but attachment to emotions is what creates suffering. This is the core of Buddhism. Emotions are temporary clouds, but you are the sky. The problem is we forget that. We start identifying with every cloud, every storm, every lightning bolt. But what if you could sit back, breathe, and watch your emotions come and go, like a wise monk sitting by the riverbank? What if you could observe without reacting? That, my friend, is emotional mastery. A true story that changed me forever. Let me tell you a story. A true one. There was a monk in Japan, an old Zen master. One day, a furious samurai came into the monastery and screamed, "Teach me about heaven and hell." The monk looked him straight in the eye and said, "You teach you anything? You're a filthy savage. You're not even worth my time." The samurai's face turned red. He pulled out his sword and shouted, "I'll kill you for that." The monk smiled gently and said, "That is hell." Shocked, the samurai lowered his sword. Tears welled up in his eyes. He bowed deeply and whispered, "Thank you, master." And the monk replied, "That is heaven." Do you see what happened? In one moment, the samurai was consumed by rage. In the next, he was filled with gratitude. He was the same person, the same situation. The only thing that changed was his mind. This is what Buddhism teaches us. Heaven and hell are not places. They are emotions inside you. Emotions are like waves, but you are the ocean. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed because we think we are our emotions. I am angry. I am sad. I am broken. I am anxious. But Buddhist wisdom teaches us something different. You are not your emotion. You are the space in which the emotion arises and disappears. Your anger is like a wave, but you are the entire ocean. When you realize this, emotions lose their power. They may rise, they may crash, but they don't control you anymore. This is not theory, this is a practice. And I'll teach you how, but only if you stay till the end. Because what I'm about to reveal next is not just spiritual talk. It's psychological, emotional, and life-transforming. What you'll discover in this video. Here's what we're going to uncover together. Why emotional control is not about suppression. It's about awareness. Buddhist techniques like Vipassana, awaken, and metta to create mental stillness. How to deal with emotional triggers like betrayal, failure, heartbreak. A Zen story that will open your eyes to how monks become emotionless but kind. And most importantly, how to become the calmest person in every room, even when the world is on fire. But I need you to stay, because halfway through this video, I'll share the one Buddhist method that can instantly shift your emotional state, anytime, anywhere. Even if you're angry, even if you're crying, even if your life feels out of control. And towards the end, I'll give you a 7-day plan that you can start using today to begin your journey toward emotional mastery. So take a deep breath. This is not just a video. This is a turning point. Are you ready to let go? Ask yourself, are you tired of caring too much about people who don't care back? Are you tired of letting your past ruin your present? Are you tired of feeling like a puppet controlled by emotions? Then this is your sign, because this moment, right now, could be the day you begin to break free from the chains of your own mind, from the endless roller coaster of feelings, from the illusion that emotions are truth. They're not. They're stories, and it's time you became the storyteller, not the victim. Final words before we begin. I know you've been hurt. I know you've been betrayed. I know you've cried behind closed doors. But I also know this. Inside you is a calm, powerful being who just wants peace, who just wants freedom, who just wants to feel nothing and everything in a way that doesn't destroy you. That's possible, and we begin that journey right now. So stay with me. Keep watching till the end, because by the time this video ends, you won't be the same person who clicked on it. You'll walk away lighter, calmer, stronger, and maybe finally, emotionless in the most powerful way possible. Part 2, the core teachings of Buddhism on emotional mastery. Section 1, understanding the nature of emotions through Buddhist teachings. Explanation of the 5 aggregate skandhas and how emotions arise. The illusion of the self, anatta, and how identifying with emotions deepens suffering. The concept of impermanence, anicca, all emotions are fleeting. Story of the Buddha's renunciation and emotional detachment. Section 2, the root cause of emotional suffering. The 3 poisons, attachment, aversion, and ignorance. How desire leads to emotional dependence. How aversion causes hate, jealousy, and rage. How ignorance clouds our mind from seeing truth. Meditation on the cause and effect of emotions. Section 3, becoming emotionally unshakable. The power of equanimity. Awaken, the Buddhist ideal of emotional balance. The story of Buddha remains calm during insults, learning to stay neutral in praise and criticism. Emotional balance as the root of real compassion. Section 4, the tools and practices of emotional mastery. Vipassana meditation, watching emotions without judgment. The practice of mindfulness in daily life. The 4 foundations of mindfulness and how they relate to emotions. Loving kindness meditation, metta to dissolve anger. Breath-based awareness for emotional reset. The pause and respond technique. Journaling with Buddhist awareness. Real-life routine of a monk to manage emotional energy. Section 5, real-life situations and Buddhist emotional intelligence. How to handle heartbreak and betrayal. How to stay calm in arguments and criticism. How to face loss, grief, and sadness the Buddhist way. How to conquer envy and jealousy. How to deal with failure and setbacks without emotional collapse. Emotional self-discipline and the power of patience. Turning loneliness into spiritual solitude. Section 6, Zen stories that transform emotional thinking. The story of the old man and the wild horse. The tea master and the swordsman. The monk carrying the woman. The story of Hakuin and the baby. How these stories help detach from emotional reactivity. Section 7, the 7-day practice to emotional freedom. Day 1, observe your emotions. Day 2, practice mindfulness breathing. Day 3, metta for those who hurt you. Day 4, journal what triggers you. Day 5, say nothing when angry. Day 6, embrace silence. Day 7, meditate for emotional balance. Bonus, create an emotional response map based on Buddhist insight. Section 8, final reflection. Reflecting on the transformation. The value of silence, space, and solitude. Letting go doesn't mean being cold. It means being free. Emotional strength is not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. How emotional detachment brings true love, joy, and purpose. So, what if I told you that becoming emotionless was never the goal? What if I told you that this journey isn't about turning off your heart, but about opening it so wide that nothing can control it anymore? We often think that strength is about suppression, but real strength, true Buddhist strength, is about transcendence. It's not about having no feelings. It's about having the power to choose your response, no matter what you feel. You become like a lotus in a muddy pond, rooted in chaos, but blooming in silence. Let's break something here. You are not weak because you feel. You are not broken because you cry. And you are not lost because your emotions sometimes overwhelm you. But you are free the moment you stop being a slave to them. Just close your eyes for a second. Imagine a version of yourself that doesn't get triggered easily. A version that doesn't overthink every word, every text, every failure. A version that walks calmly through storms, because peace is no longer around you, it's within you. That version of you isn't far. It's already here, waiting, watching, listening. You just need to peel off the layers of fear, hurt, and ego, and return home to yourself. You see, monks don't escape emotions. They master them. They ride the waves, not drown in them. And now so can you. So starting today, don't run from your emotions. Observe them, bow to them, and then let them pass, because emotions are guests. You are the host, and the master of your house never bows to the guest. If this video has stirred something inside you, if it made you feel understood, strong, or even just calm for a moment, then don't let it stop here. Comment below and tell me, what's the one emotion you're finally ready to let go of? Let's make this comment section a river of healing. And don't forget to subscribe to the Wisdom of Sparks, because next week we'll uncover why feeling too much is not a curse. It's a superpower only if you do this. Until then, don't just exist. Awaken.